Join me as I embark on a new journey in my own Instagram for real estate story. I have been using Instagram to grow my real estate business since 2016, which is kind of crazy to think about. Instagram has always been a really important part of how my husband and I market our real estate business here in Phoenix, Arizona. Instagram is such an important tool to us because not only does it help us really grow our brand in our local area, we close multiple six figures in GCI each year from our Instagram leads alone. So suffice it to say, I'm a big Instagram for real estate girl, and I think that that's actually how a lot of you may have found me initially here on YouTube, as I have shared a little bit about my journey over the years and how I'm getting it to work for me. And so today I want to talk about a new little experiment that I am running for myself that I want to bring you in on. I'm going into an interesting new season of life, personally and professionally. Over the last year, I have gone through a really deep personal journey as we have continued to grow our family. And after that process, I've gone through just some health aspects that have really made it difficult for me to show up in my personal brand and on social media the way I would like. And you might say, well, Stefanie, you're still posting on YouTube. Like, I see your videos each week. Yeah, that's because my systems are really well dialed in. But when it comes to the actual personal brand on social media, on apps like Instagram or even TikTok, I haven't been showing up the way that I would like to. And I'm needing a little bit of a brand refresh. And so I'm gonna bring you into my process on how I am going to revamp my Instagram for real estate, how I'm really going to revisit what I want this next season of my brand to look like. Part of this is going to be leveraging Reels for growth and lead generation for my real estate business. And so walk with me over these next couple of steps, and then I will follow this up with a part 2 video where I share what happened. We're gonna start by doing some planning and research. So this is actually a core principle that we use in the Market Authority Academy. It is a really important part of my proven business plan. Check out the Market Authority Academy below if you wanna see a little bit of what I'm talking about. But when it comes to my ability to actually come up with really great content, know what to say, and connect in a genuine way with my audience to attract dream clients, I really like to do a little bit of planning and research. The planning and research for me is going to look like just revisiting my ideal clients, doing a little bit of market research on them, and that is going to include some ideal client interviews. For those of you who are in MAA, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and really making sure that I know what content is going to really connect the best with my existing audience. I'm also going to think a little bit about who I want to be attracting into my Instagram audience going forward. So the majority of the audience who follows me on Instagram is actually local to Phoenix and Scottsdale. They are members of the public. They're not like other realtors. They are people who hopefully at some point would want to buy or sell real estate in my local area. I want more of that. So I want to not only create Reels content that is going to reconnect with them, I want to get back in front of them in such a way to where they remember who I am if they haven't seen my account in a while, because the Instagram algorithm just likes to do that, and get them bought back into my mission and journey so that they want to keep returning and keep coming back. So I'm going to create Reels content specifically that's going to help me do that. Not just sell. I think that that's an important distinction. There's Reels content that you can make that is connection based, and then there's Reels content that you can make that is very information based, like regurgitating Google stuff, or just straight up trying to sell. I'm going to forget about a lot of that second part for now and just focus deeply on the connection based, and doing research and planning is going to be a really important part of that. Next, I'm going to put a process in place. Now, what has worked really well for me is not posting every single day on Instagram like clockwork. I cannot personally create as much quality content as I want to meet that cadence. I don't like to use templates personally, although I know many agents find them helpful. And I don't like to batch record a ton of content, so much so to where I can just continue posting it almost on autopilot every day. If I were to try that, that is going to put me in a position to where I'm just creating more noise. And if I'm not contributing to my audience and contributing to these goals in a meaningful way, then I'm not going to post. I'm not a fan of just posting just to post. Instead, my process is going to be to post to my Instagram account about 3 times a week, with 1 or 2 of those per week being reels. And again, you might be thinking like, Steph, that's like just really not a lot of content. That's fine. There's other things that I can do and do on Instagram that actually lead to me setting appointments, and it often has nothing to do with just creating more content. Because of that, I'm going to focus on 1 to 2 reels per week that are very intentional, that are going to be very connection-based, and hopefully are going to give me the best sense of what's working and what's not. It's gonna be easier to test. Now, next, step 3 is going to be my conversion tools, right? So like, of course, I do wanna make sure that as I'm putting this effort in, if there is anybody who is a right now client, like if people are seeing this content and they're thinking, yeah, I am actually looking to buy and sell, and this person looks like a really great fit for my real estate needs, then I need to have a method in place for them to let me know, for them to become a hand raiser. Now, the way that this works on Instagram, especially when it comes to reels, is a little bit different. It is asking a lot of people to reach out to a real estate agent for their real estate needs unless they are absolutely like 99% sure that they are going to be hiring that individual. The public knows what we're all about, and for better or for worse, they kind of put us into a bucket of super high pressure salespeople. And we have to recognize that and create a conversion system in our marketing plan that is going to take that into account. I am going to recognize and assume that most of my audience who will be seeing the content that I will be creating and putting out on Instagram Reels are not quite ready to sign a wet ink employment agreement with me yet. They might be a couple of months out, they might be a year out. I don't so much care because I want to be in business a year from now anyway. And so I'll take whatever opportunities are the best fit for me, regardless of their timeline. So to do that, I need to create a conversion tool that's going to feel easy and natural to them. This is going to look like providing downloadable resources that they can get in exchange for giving me their contact information. And then I need to have a marketing plan that is going to stay in touch with them until they are ready to actually set a buyer consultation or a pre-listing appointment with me. Now, for those who are pretty warmed up, like they're pretty clear on the plan that they have in mind for their real estate goals, I do want to have another method for them to book a call with me directly, and I'll be setting that up in my Linktree page. Linktree is the tool that I use to have a little bit of a landing page on my Instagram bio. And so this way I'll have a couple of different conversion offers that will help me generate leads and book appointments depending on the warmth of that specific lead. Now, finally, I'm gonna set my expectations for this experiment. I'm really excited to kind of refresh my brand and get back into like the basics that have always worked really well for our business. And I'm gonna have my expectations pretty well dialed in here. Anytime I'm doing something new like this, I really hit it with like a scientist mindset or like a prototype mindset. Meaning I'm not going to worry about this being perfect, and I'm not going to assume it only works if I close $100,000 in GCI in the next month or two and get 20 listings. Like that to me is just such a silly mindset and not a helpful expectation to have in general. For me, I think that perfectionism, like waiting to take action until it feels absolutely done and perfect, is a defense mechanism. And I think that it is a really good procrastination tool. I'm not looking to procrastinate on this. I'm looking to take bold, extreme action over the next 30 days so I can figure out what feels good to me in this moment in the season of my business. Because of that, I'm going to have that prototype mindset like a little scientist, meaning just gonna be looking at the data. I'm going to be asking some thoughtful questions. I'm going to stay curious, and I'm going to allow my plans to pivot and change. And so in 30 days or so after I'm done with this process, when I'm done with this experiment, I'm going to share with you what has worked for me so far. I'm going to share my findings. I'm going to share my interesting questions. I'm going to share the things that I learned, and I'm going to share specifically what worked and what didn't. So if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, make sure you do so that you can see that update when I have it. I'm really excited to try something new. So if you want to follow along, be sure to follow me at Bryce and Stefanie on Instagram. If you're wondering why it's at Bryce and Stefanie, it's because I am not a YouTube personality. I'm a real estate agent here in Phoenix, Arizona with my husband. And so that is our real estate business account. That is where we are driving a ton of business to our small but mighty team here in Phoenix. So check out at Bryce and Stefanie and connect with us there if you want to follow along. Wish me luck. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in. Till next time, keep on crushing it.